Joining us now on Blitz is Jarvis Davenport, second-year head coach for the Lady Warriors there at White County. Jarvis, first of all, just thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And you've had a great season so far, 11 wins. You had 6 wins last year, I believe, so we've seen some great improvement in the 2 years that you've been here. Kind of summarize the season to date, how you kind of feel about the general consensus of how the 2017-18 year has gone for you.
Well, last year we finished kind of strong. Me coming on my first year, and they had to adjust to a new style of play, and that was kind of tough at first. We had growing pains, which were to be expected, and we were really young. We had 5 or 6 freshmen last year, so they had to learn on the fly, learn on the job, so to speak. But they did a great job, and some of the older girls who were sophomores and juniors last year, they came along as well, and now coming into year 2, everybody has a better grasp as to what's expected and how it has to be done for it to work.
Yeah.
Early in the year, we came out really well, and we had things rolling, and then Mother Nature and Christmas and everything else kind of dipped their head into the basketball season as always, and now we're trying to actually get back on track to peak right here at the end of the year.
Absolutely, that's can't say it any better. The way that they just kind of things just kind of happen and interrupt your schedule a little bit. But I know you're looking to finish strong. Talk about some of the goals that this team set. As you said, you finished strong last year, and you got the quick start this year. I imagine somewhere in the spring or summer last year, you got this group together to talk about what was it going to take to get this team maybe to the state tournament.
Well, coming from East Hall, we always had 4 main goals, and I keep those because they're just good to have. You always want to, of course, win a tournament, whichever tournament you go to, and then you want to try and compete in your region and try and win you a region title, and then you want to attempt to get in the state tournament, and then you want to try and win state. So those are really the 4 goals that we have. So last year we missed out on making the state tournament. We won 1 region game, and we just we were fighting the whole year to try to get in there, and we didn't quite make it. And then this year we started out well, and we were 3-1, and we took a loss last night, and now we're in 3rd. But even being 3rd with only 5 teams in the region, we can be in the state tournament. So that can be one of our goals that are crossed off, and then we can have a chance to compete for a region tournament.
Absolutely.
Or region championship.
Absolutely.
So,
that'd be great. And you kind of alluded to this a moment ago, just how you did have a young team last year, and I really like when you look at your roster, you have some great balance, because you have 4 senior leaders that are a key part of this team, but you also have a lot of youth. What's that like for you as a coach to have that kind of balance in the roster?
Oh, well, it's great. I mean, it's great that so many people are just basically doing their job. I mean, it's as cliche as it sounds, and I say it all the time. I mean, I tell the girls, just do your job. When it's your turn to score, then you score.
Mm-hmm.
If it's your turn to set somebody up to score, then you set somebody up to score. If it's your turn to rotate defensively or whatever the case may be, then just do what's there. And that way you don't have to worry about trying to be special or do a certain thing a certain way a certain night, and then maybe not the next time. Just do it the right way all the time, and you don't have to worry about it. So they've really grasped onto that. And I mean, even this year we're still young. The meat of our program, so to speak, is freshmen and sophomores. They're freshmen and sophomores. So I have 10 of them.
Yeah, and one of those is Dasha Cannon, who kind of probably didn't surprise you because you've had a chance to work with her before the season even started, but she's kind of a player that seemingly kind of came out of nowhere and has just done excellent, like a freshman phenom as we call it. But what have you been surprised by her success so far, and tell us some of the things that you really like about her game, and perhaps what her ceiling is.
Well, Dasha always looked like she was going to be a really good player, and I am pleasantly surprised with how well she has played. I knew she would play well. I did not want to thrust her into the starting role, so to speak, in the beginning of the year. I wanted her to, kind of come along with the second group and get more comfortable with the way we do our pressure and how we defend and everything. But through injuries and other things, she was thrust into the starting role. And, she just hadn't given it up. I mean, there's just been no reason to take her out of it. And she is, she is a freshman. She's still growing in basketball, since. And there's certain things that she's got to work on and to become an even better player. But definitely the sky's the limit. She's a decent shooter, and she has moments where she knocks in big shots, and she's not afraid of the moment. And she's a great teammate. I mean, she doesn't, she's not one of those players that walks around and says, I'm Dasha Cannon. Look at me. She's always trying to get, other people involved. And she's always laughing and cutting up with seniors or freshmen or sophomores. And, everybody likes her. And it's just, and that's easier on the coach when that happens.
Yeah, definitely. It's like another coach on the floor and has a lot of those intangibles you're talking about. Last question for you. What is, you kind of talked about wanting to finish strong this year. What are the biggest things that you're kind of telling your team and kind of harping on them to maybe, kind of tone up before the region tournament starts?
Well, I mean, the main thing is that we want to just be playing better. We want to, take what the other team is doing, whether they're zoning us or manning us or pressing us or whatever the case may be. And after 2 years, we've seen all of that, but we have to execute and do things to make them pay and punish them for, what they're trying to do to us.
Mm-hmm.
We always want to be attacking and trying to figure out how we can get easy baskets or open looks. And that's the one thing that we're really trying to focus on now. That and defensively not having breakdowns. We're having too many breakdowns at this moment, and we're giving up, probably 10 to 15 easy buckets or easy points per game, and that's hard to overcome at times, especially when you play really good teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like you got a good recipe there, Coach, and we're wishing you the best of luck as you close out the season, and we can't wait to see the Lady Warriors back in the state tournament, hopefully. And again, just thank you so much for your time, and congrats on a solid season so far.
All right, thanks so much. I appreciate it.